following video will present the Bosch APE Access Control Module integration with Milestone X Protect. This integration is certified to work with both the advanced and professional family of X Protect VMS solutions which support integrations. The purpose of this video is to not only introduce the integration, but to detail the technical requirements and demonstrate the integration process as much as possible. Therefore, this video is considerable in length. If you are interested in quickly skipping ahead to a specific section, please take this moment to do so. This integration is accomplished through the X Protect Access Control Module. This module enables the integration of video surveillance, access control, and intrusion detection systems together within the familiar X Protect management and operational software applications, such as the X Protect Smart Client and management application. The functionality these integrations achieve is through combining access control functions, such as granting and denying access through protected doors, or investigation of intrusions or other events, alongside live video to verify card access requests and recorded video to provide context in investigations. Integrating X Protect with the Bosch Access Professional Edition access control solution combines the strongest VMS in the industry with an intuitive entry-level access control solution. This solution combines modular door controller hardware with a server-client software architecture, making it both flexible to deploy in various configurations and scalable to grow as more doors or locations are added to the system. Features of this integration include all of the following and more. Automated data synchronization, drag and drop device association, over 200 access control events, access control events integrated into the X Protect rules system, smart client integration of video, alarms, and access control events, filters to quickly search through events, access control events displayed alongside video images to create printable and exportable reports. And pop-up notifications, including live video, which can be used by operators to grant and deny access. The integration was certified using both X Protect Corporate and X Protect Enterprise. This means it is compatible with Corporate, Expert, Enterprise, Professional, and Express versions of the X Protect VMS. The most recent versions of each VMS were tested, namely Corporate 2014 7.0C and Enterprise 2014 8.6C. The most recent version of the Smart Client was used in this test, which is version 9.0B. Normal X Protect licensing is required for cameras. In addition to this, you will need to purchase an access control module license with your required number of doors. On the Bosch side, the Access Professional Edition 3.0 software requires a base license and an X Protect integration license. You will also need to obtain the Bosch APE X Protect plugin in order to execute the integration. When you purchase the APE software, this plugin should be included in the CD-ROM along with all the other required components. The Bosch software is compatible with standard Windows operating systems, from XP to Server 2008. We tested the system on both Windows 7 and Server 2008. For additional information on software compatibility, please refer to the support contacts listed at the end of this video. The primary hardware component in a Bosch APE system is the AMC2, or the Bosch Access Modular Controller. This unit can connect to between 1 and 8 doors, and a Bosch APE access control system can include any number of these controllers. The Bosch APE system can contain a limit of 10,000 card holders and 128 card readers. This hardware unit is compatible with all of the most commonly used card reader interface technologies and includes additional digital input and output functionality for connection to intrusion sensors and other low voltage devices. To support the connection between Bosch APE and XProtect, you will want to either disable the firewall on both of the target servers, or you can create custom rules to open the virtual ports required for the integration, 808 and 809. In addition to this, you will need to have a DHCP server in the network to provide an address for the Bosch Access Modular Controller hardware unit, which requires DHCP to provide an IP address. Several components may need to be installed prior to the installation of the Bosch system. All required components are included on the CD-ROM with the APE software. Depending on the state of your OS, you may need to install some combination of these components. Here we installed a newer version of the .NET protocol, an SDK, and Crystal reports. The APE installation wizard is very intuitive. You will need to choose the server installation, confirm the location, select the components, and the language used. Be sure to reboot the server after the installation has completed. To begin using the Bosch software, it must be licensed. Open the Access PE Configurator application installed by default. The default username is Bosch, and the password also Bosch, both in lowercase. Configure the IP address of the local access control hardware unit if it hasn't been defined yet, or if it changes. Then open the configuration menu and choose the license activation option. Follow the activation process, which is detailed in 3 steps within the resulting window. The first step is to select the base license you will be using from the drop-down menu. Then, copying the computer signature and saving it in a text file. Next, we go to the Bosch license activation site and log in, or you can create an account if this is the first visit. Paste in the authorization number you received when you purchased the license to get the activation key emailed to you by the Bosch license activation servers. You can also use this website to check the status of all the licenses assigned to your account. Back at the server, we can paste in the activation key once it arrives via email. After the base license has been activated, we can add the XProtect license required for integration. First, test the connection to the controller to verify it is online. Then, return to the Configuration License Activation menu. Fill in the checkbox next to the XProtect Integration License option, and again go to the Bosch License Activation website to enter the authorization number and receive the activation key. After the software is licensed, you will see the Bosch APE Milestone service in the Services menu of your Windows OS. Install the APE plugin on the Milestone XProtect Management Server or Master Server. Prior to installation, you will want to shut down the XProtect Event Server service. Start the Bosch APE plugin installation program and continue through the wizard, accepting the default selections. Once this is complete, we can restart the Event Server service. Within the XProtect Management Client or Management Application, we can now choose to create a new Access Control Module connection. Name the connection and choose the Bosch APE integration from the drop-down menu. Enter the IP address of the Bosch server, the port 808, and the username and credentials for an administrative user on the Bosch APE server. The plugin will automatically establish a connection and begin importing data about the access control system's configuration. Once this process is complete, we can associate cameras to doors and finalize the process of adding a new access control module connection. Now we are ready to begin configuration of the integrated system. Selecting the Bosch system in the access control window, we can view the properties and settings of the integration. The General Settings tab contains the parameters used to establish a connection. When properties change in the Bosch system, such as the addition of new card holders or new doors, press the Refresh Configuration button on this tab, and the data will be automatically updated. On the Associated Cameras tab, we can review and configure the logical connection between video sources and doors. The Access Control Events tab is used to categorize the incoming events from the Bosch system into several types of events, so each group can be handled uniquely. There are a large number of possible events, most of which are disabled by default. The Access Request Notification tab is used to configure the appearance of the pop-up windows launched from the Smart Client by the integration. We can choose which cameras are displayed, what commands are available, and several audio options. The available commands include locking and unlocking doors, granting and denying access, and more. The final tab is the Card Holder tab. This can be used to search for cardholders and view the properties associated to those individuals. To configure any of the cardholder settings, you need to work within the Bosch APE system. There are several access control related triggers and actions which can be configured using the rules engine. For the access request notification pop-up windows to function, the system needs a rule in place. We can trigger these requests by looking for one specific access control related event or one type of event which has already been categorized. We need to choose the doors or other devices which will be the source of the triggering event, the time the rule will be active, and any actions which will be the result of this rule. There are several access control related actions built into the system, including any of the manual commands which can be automated with this process. The resulting access request, which is displayed as a pop-up, can be chosen from any of the requests configured previously. Using this rule system, we can configure the system to begin recording video based upon intrusion events or access denied events. Alternatively, we could also lock doors or unlock doors based upon video motion detection received from specific cameras. If we want to see the access control related events in the Alarm Management tab of the Smart Client, and if we want to process those events as alarms in the security system, we first need to create alarm definitions. Choose a category of event, all of which will trigger the alarm. Then we choose the source hardware and any associated cameras or maps in the system. Configuring the access control module to work with the Bosch APE system is only a slightly different process when using the XProtect Professional family of products. Here we are adding the integration to an XProtect Enterprise system. The plugin installation is exactly the same, and afterwards we simply create the connection using an identical wizard-based process as was used with the Advanced family of VMS products. Here we are associating cameras to doors and completing the addition of the integrated system. The management application for Enterprise requires us to right-click on the Bosch APE object in the directory and choose the Properties option from the context menu, which is different than Corporate's tab-based menu. In the resulting Access Control Properties window, we can configure all of the same functionality as we would in Corporate. We can refresh the configuration, associate cameras to doors, categorize access control events, search for cardholders, and configure access control request notifications and other rules-based actions using the new Access Control Actions menu. Here we can create a logic-based rules system with access control-related triggers resulting in several different responses from the integration. We can choose a type of event, a specific event, or even an external event. Next, we will want to choose the source of the event and a time when the event is active. The default for both of these will be sure to capture all the possible events. The final step will be to choose the resulting action that the integrated systems will perform. These actions can include launching access requests, moving PTZ cameras, starting recordings, or other previously configured systems actions. By creating several events triggered by the same event or category of event, we can have events that both trigger access control requests and trigger video recordings. When the action is to display an access request notification, additional functionality becomes available in the menu, allowing the customization of the pop-up window in the smart client. If the action is to start recording, the system needs to know which cameras will be recorded and for what duration. This menu is a powerful tool which combines some of the functionality of the corporate rules engine with the access control module functionality. Similar to the corporate integration, we will need to create alarm definitions if the access control events will be used to trigger alarms within XProtect. Additional functionality that is available both in corporate and in enterprise is the ability to view software development related data within the access control module menus and tabs. This can be very helpful for troubleshooting and integration, but is not required. After the plugin has been installed and the management client configured, the next step is to configure the smart client. First, we need to switch into setup mode to add the access monitor object from the system monitor directory to any open pane within the view using a simple drag and drop operation. Once the monitor object has been placed, you will need to choose the door or doors to monitor, the camera displayed, the type of events which will be monitored, the commands displayed in the monitor, and in which order the events will be displayed. We can also place access control related objects on maps in the client. Most hardware objects in the system are able to be placed on the map using the drag and drop operation. This includes doors, readers, and other access control hardware. The status of these objects are updated in real time and displayed on the map. Lastly, switch out of setup mode to return to the live view mode. From a brief look at this smart client application, we can see several features available with the Bosch APE access control module integration with Milestone XProtect. The access control monitor in the upper right corner displays new access control events synchronized with cardholder images, metadata, and video from associated cameras. The access control objects on the map display their status and blink to notify of outstanding alarms related to those objects. The alarm list also displays the most recent alarms and any data related to them. We can use the commands available in the access control monitor to manually change the status of the system in response to the incoming events and access requests. On the Alarm Manager tab, we can browse and review the full history of alarms in the XProtect system. Recorded video from any cameras associated to these events is able to be replayed, live video is available, and we can create reports based on each individual event. By acknowledging or closing these events, we can also remove the alarm status notifications on the map objects and the Alarm Manager tab. All closed or acknowledged events are still able to be reviewed, they are just categorized differently. The Access Control tab of the Smart Client allows us to review all of the access control related events, even if they aren't creating alarms. This tab also includes additional metadata about these events, including the source hardware device which triggered the event, and any cardholder data included with the event. These events can be filtered using drop-down menus according to the source, door or doors, the category of events or specific individual events, and the time range during which the events occurred. For example, this functionality allows us to quickly filter the display to only show access denied events occurring on one specific door in the last 12 hours. Alternatively, if we know the cardholder involved in the events we want to review, by typing the cardholder name, we can bring up any events related to them which fit in the range of events defined by the drop-down filters. In this demonstration, we can easily narrow the long list of events down to just the events related to one specific cardholder which occurred in the last hour. This is a powerful tool for taking quick action if credentials are lost, stolen, or otherwise compromised. This tab also can be used to replay recorded video from associated cameras, which is time synchronized to the selected events. Once the events are filtered to the desired range, we can use the Access Report button to automatically create an easily shareable and printable document in PDF format, which displays all the relevant metadata associated with an event: time, cardholder, doors, and camera names. It will also include all snapshots from the associated cameras, which are time synchronized to the event. The pop-up access request notifications will pop up to the desktop regardless of whether the XProtect Smart Client is the active application or not. These notifications can be stacked with the newest in front or in back, and they include live video from the associated cameras, a status display of the related door, and commands which allow the operator to quickly review and respond to the access request. If the cardholder data matches video images of the individual requesting access, they can be allowed entry using the commands available in the pop-up window or on the access monitor. These pop-up windows also have full video controls, meaning we can switch cameras, enter playback mode, initiate PTZ movement, place bookmarks, and more. This has been a review of the primary features available in the Smart Client, which are a result of the Bosch APE Access Control Module integration with Milestone XProtect. Thank you for watching this demonstration and introduction to the Bosch APE 3.0 Access Control System integration with Milestone XProtect. Please refer to your local Bosch and Milestone partner for more information on this solution, or use the contact information listed here to gain additional details.